yangu buseninda na ngula chilo oke boze tulive na kuyalelo devyo bayepi amita pendwa ya vintu ifisume vyoto kula kuibukisha kana depotimo wimbo wa temenu wa katongi abazunga batita katongi na kula kuibukisha kateka kaibukubuna kapona neseko siove pamenso yangu maume baya kiyaba maume kiyaba maume
kateka wabantu kiyaba maume twakulira lelo twakulira shika kukonke milimo shove Leti kume mo kula dolole avale lilo wingi
iseko wingi mwakwete isaso wingi mwakwete mwaya mwende wino tata wesu
katushe muchi wakege wali bomba kale kamba mwatuja tulelilake yangu buseninda na ngula chilo oke boze tulive na kuyalelo devyo bayepi amita pendwa ya vintu ifisume vyoto kula kuibukisha kana depotimo wimbo wa temenu wa katongi abazunga batita katongi na kula kuibukisha kateka kaibukubuna kapona neseko siove pamenso yangu maume baya kiyaba maume kiyaba maume
kateka wabantu kiyaba maume twakulira lelo twakulira shika kukonke milimo shove
Leti kume mo kula dolole avale lilo wingi
iseko wingi mwakwete isaso wingi mwakwete mwaya
Chila vifuema Vingi tuala baba dinoti Wenangu tulalama Uti tuala baba dinangu tulalama Mama Nangu tulalama Ukula bebyo watu dobuingi Ibisebo wapagiri obuingi Ukuchinjo lusako kumoneko busaka Mama Utituala basiyani Chakwa katuse
Yeah. Good day and welcome to today's broadcast. We are grateful that you're joining us. Today we are privileged to host Zambia Must Prosper President Kelvin Bwalya Fube, popularly known as KBF. He will outline his vision for this country, his role in bringing the opposition together, and you also take time to look at the various crises that is facing our country, which is necessitating the people of Zambia to look up to the opposition as a group that should emancipate them. Can the opposition unseat President Hakainde and the UPND? Today we feature KBF and a standby. Wonderful. Honorable KBF, Kelvin Fube Bwalya, I'm privileged to host you for the second time. We will not go into details of what makes KBF. I will refer to my audience to a special podcast I had with Honorable KBF. His upbringing from Mufulira, you know, the times, his life and times in Mufulira at the University of Zambia and his professional career. We dealt with that matter very extensively. So today we'll just deal with the actual facts. Honorable KBF, welcome and thank you for according us an opportunity to host you.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Ambassador, and good evening, viewers.
Thank you very much. Honorable KBF, we have various crises in our country, economic, social, you know, political, whatever it is, whether any sector you look at appears to be in crisis. 4 years on, President Hakainde doesn't look like he has any solution to our country. I have seized this opportunity to be with you to see, as Zambians are looking towards and forward to the alternative, can you be the alternative? Can the opposition provide an alternative? But before we go, we, on 5th June 20, 25, we lost Zambia's 6th president, a friend of yours, Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu. The sad part is the matter is not concluded. While the president's soul may, be reposed with the Lord, he still hasn't been, his remains hasn't been put to rest, and it's a matter of serious concern. Let's just briefly start with the issue around the late president, Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu. What are your thoughts and what are your condolences, and what do you think should be done?
Well, sincere condolences again to the entire country of Zambia, and specifically to Vamayo Vaesta Lungu and the family of the late president, the children, friends, and political acquaintances, and indeed all those that loved the 6th Republican president. Indeed, it is still very sad that as a nation, we still cannot conclude this issue of the burial of the late president. It is unfortunate, and now it is turning out to be a very serious international embarrassment. But I might add that it is also becoming a scandal in view of the recent happenings, more so with revelations by the so-called opposition leader, Robert Chabinga, Honorable, basically confessing and admitting to a scandalous adventure, a criminal enterprise, to try, if not to bribe, a foreign judge in a foreign country. Yet, this, according to him, in this leaked audio, was instigated, initiated by our own president here. And I say this based on the leaked audio. You cannot have a president of a country looking for a particular individual in the name of Robert Chabinga, calling him after 23 hours in the night for over 13 times, the director of intelligence calling Robert Chabinga over 30 times for him to go and conduct clandestine criminal activity, according to his own confession, on that leaked audio in a foreign country. That is unacceptable and totally unbecoming of us as a nation. And I say as a nation because Chabinga kept referring to State House, naming the president and naming the director of intelligence as being the operatives behind this clandestine activity. Now let me speak legally, Ambassador, here.
Yes.
When we look at criminal enterprise, this is Criminal Law 101. Section 21, 22 of our penal code here lists a principal offender, an associate offender, and indeed an accessory to a crime.
Yeah.
In this particular case, we have Chabinga saying that he's being sent on a clandestine criminal enterprise initiated by State House, controlled by Friday Nyambe, Director of Intelligence, and he has to go and operate in a foreign country. He calls it a very serious mission. Criminally speaking, and I'm saying Criminal Law 101,
yeah,
Anybody involved in this clandestine criminal enterprise is a criminal, because we have a principal offender, an accessory before the fact, and an accessory after the fact. That's the problem we have here. And I'm speaking legally. According to Chabinga, in his own confession, talking to a minister here in Zambia, Mwamba Doreen, Minister of Community, he's telling the minister how he was employed to go into a foreign country and commit an offense. In his own words, wa judge ku South Africa wafwiri okudya. In other words, I should corrupt the judge in the case Yabalungu. Now, Chabinga can go and try and deny this, blame it on AI, and every nonsense that he can come up with.
Yeah.
Let me tell the Zambian people, I know Robert Chabinga. That is his voice. I know Doreen Mwamba, the Minister of Community. That is her voice. We are not children here. Chabinga was confessing to committing a crime initiated by our own government. Why isn't he arrested? I have given you the sections 21 and section 22 of the Penal Code. Criminal activities and principal offenders, associates and accomplices are named as to how you associate to a crime. And I am saying, in this particular enterprise, our government, according to Chabinga's own words, is involved in criminal enterprise. That is beyond embarrassment. That is beyond the Vienna Convention. No. Chabinga must be immediately arrested for the criminal that he is. Chabinga Mwacho and Robert, utekanye sana. You are now crossing the boundaries of politics. This is not politics. This is criminality. If you are Puvata to the fire, we should stop embarrassing this country. It's gone on too far. The Director of Intelligence, Friday Nyambe, your job is not to ensure that citizens of this country go and commit offenses in another country. Who told you that that is why we've made you Director of Intelligence? Fionse fifile chitika. All these happenings are very, very damaging to this country. Well, Ambassador, we are beyond redemption in the region in terms of embarrassment, in terms of insult and scandal. It is beyond explanation. Why should our own president, according to Chabinga, instigate a citizen in the name of Robert Chabinga to go to South Africa? In the audio, for those that have listened to this audio, I'm speaking legally here as a criminal lawyer. Chabinga says, when he was asked on the plane by those going to the funeral whether he was going to attend the funeral, he said no. He lied. He said, Renati, I am going to go to Cape Town to attend to a child who had a fractured leg. Avepa, which means he was covering up his own criminal intentions because of the instructions he was given on his special mission. We are not going to be fooled. Those details can only come from a person who was given clear instructions on what he's supposed to do and how he's supposed to execute those instructions. He says further, I told Friday, Mwintumina Transport, when I arrived, in South Africa, I did not want the Zambian embassy officials to pick me up because it was going to raise suspicion. All this points to criminality, meaning this was a clandestine operation, so that Chabinga has got access to go and play what he terms now his mingalato with the judiciary in South Africa. How embarrassing can we, as a nation, suffer such indignation, such stupidity? Ukutumpo kwa pulamo, ukuseba nye chalo cha Zambia. Uku ekutumpa. Uku Chabinga ekutumpa. And all those that are part of this criminal enterprise must be arrested, including Friday Nyambe, because he was the one who was giving the last minute instructions. According to his own audio, this so-called leader of opposition was receiving instructions from our director of intelligence. The director of intelligence had already received instructions, according to him, from State House. Because State House had been calling Chabinga for 13 times whilst he was asleep. Now, in law, there can be no serious evidence against a criminal than his own confession. Chabinga has confessed to a crime. Why is he not being arrested? Why is Chabinga roaming the streets of Zambia? Why is Chabinga even being given the opportunity to address the press, trying to defeat his own audio, when we know this is a cover-up because they've been caught pants down? I was in South Africa. I went for the purported burial. We were in the cathedral, that beautiful Roman Catholic cathedral in Berea, waiting for the body of the late 6th Republican president. The Archbishop of Lusaka Diocese had flown to South Africa. Like 2,000 plus other Zambians had flown and driven, plus those of the diaspora who came to join us there, plus the Lungu family. Only to learn in the recent past that Chabinga was playing in Mingalato. Kutumpa kwa msango shani huko. Now, how do we trust? How do we trust the proceedings that are going on in South Africa? Because Chabinga is saying, whatever the outcome there, he has played his Mingalato. Now here's the catch. He says the intention is not even to win the case, let alone the financial, emotional inconvenience to the family and the Zambians at large, but to clean up Hakainde as an individual. Let me warn the president of this country. Hakainde, boy, I pray you're not involved in this. Because this now goes beyond just breaching the constitution of this country. You cannot be involved in criminal enterprise simply because you're enjoying immunity. It is wrong. And as a nation, we have given you the mandate to run the affairs of this country, not to keep embarrassing us and to be involved in criminal enterprises. That is not why you were elected. I repeat, I pray you are not involved in this thing. So I want to speak to our Zambians and say they must dismiss the press briefing held by my young brother, Robert Chabinga, Honorable, claiming that this was AI. We are not fools. Robert, I know you. I know your voice. I know how you speak. I know your tonations, and I know when you're speaking. Niwebo walelanda. We are tumpa. And don't think we are fools. Honorable Doreen Mwamba, you are an accessory to that offense because Chabinga confessed a crime to you and you did not report him to law enforcement. You too are part of that criminal enterprise. You also must be arrested. Ngani mwewe Doreen Mwamba, you don't even enjoy immunity. You're not a president. You're just a minister. Who tells you a minister cannot be arrested? Who tells you that? This power that you are enjoying, don't abuse it. Because I can warn you now. Next year, come August next year, when we kick you out of power, you know where you're going. Friday Nyambe, you as an individual, as director of intelligence, your job is not to commit offenses, is to conduct intelligence for this country, not criminality. You also are an accessory before the fact. Bamwamba, you are an accessory after the fact. Because he was telling you of having committed an offense. In his own words, Chabinga says, Ndimurumpano, I'm still in South Africa. I have just finished Mingalato. What is that Mingalato? What did Chabinga finish? Because in his own words, he was saying, Jaja Fidio Kudia. Meaning, he traveled to South Africa to go and corrupt a judge in a foreign country. The law, the ambassador,
Yes,
fellow
sir.
Zambians,
Yes.
is that any crime committed outside the country of Zambia, as long as it is also an offense in Zambia, it is prosecutable here, although it is committed outside. Because you're a Zambian citizen. That's the law. That's the law. A Zambian cannot commit an offense, which is also an offense here, and think he can escape because he's outside the country. No, he must be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. This leaked audio has sent shivers, and I shudder to think about how Bamayowa Esther, the children, the Lungu family at large, are feeling. Because the people who are being named in the audio are people we all know here in Lusaka, here in Zambia. The people Chabinga met on the plane, they have confirmed they saw him on the plane on that day. So it can't be AI. Taturif Puba. I hope this warning goes out to anyone in government who thinks that they can hide under the authority of government. We shall not allow you to embarrass the nation of Zambia any more than you have done thus far. This stops here. And I'm sounding this warning. It's a friendly warning. The law will visit you. Mark my words. The law shall visit you, whether it is today or tomorrow. Umula anduta ubola. A criminal offense has no time of limitation. No statute of limitation can protect you against criminal enterprise. So go and get your best lawyer, Chabinga. Go and get your best lawyer, Doreen Mwamba. Go and get your best lawyer, Friday Nyambe. You three do not enjoy immunity. Just know that.
Thank you, Mr. President. And you've put it very succinctly. that these crimes were not only local, but they were also international. And also the role of, a personality like the Director General of Intelligence who's supposed to guide. He cannot export crimes in another country. That's espionage. He cannot conduct malign activities using elements like Chabinga in another country. These are very, very serious matters. In other jurisdictions, the president, in the glare of these facts, who just resign. And you have put it very succinctly. For Robert Chabinga, Mr. President, there is even no justification. I think he sensed that the audio was out there, and he conducted a preemptive press conference. And at this press conference, it was even worse, because he was threatening to conduct armed robbery. You must have heard where he was saying, I hear someone has received $1.5 million, who go into their home, who do an armed robbery, and who get this money. He's threatening the people of Fube that whoever wear the PF regalia, that the Inspector General of Police must stand aside, because he's going to unleash untold violence to whoever wear PF regalia. So you have a guy who's proposing to commit further crimes and is roaming the street, being praised as leader of the opposition by the president. Do you have any thoughts about this matter before we go to another matter?
The difficulty, let me just wind up, Ambassador, and it's a good thing you've mentioned the by-election in Fube. The difficulty we have with Robert Chabinga specifically is that he has turned out to be a rogue element who is now being used by the ruling party. Can you imagine terminology that he's using in the audio? He wants us to believe that AI can believe and sound and pronounce mwana wa kwitu. Huh? That this is not time to sleep, mwana wa kwitu. I mean, nonsense like that. But over this threat that he issued over Fube, Robert Chabinga, let me tell you, I have known your history for a very long time, and you know that I know you. In fact, 3/4 of your past is lined up in criminal activity. Just here, near my offices, when you were purporting to liquidate the Post newspaper, you know what you did. You know what you did. And how many things and how many wrong activities you did there. So you must be very careful that some of these things do not revisit you. You must be very, very careful, Robert. Even that position you're holding as leader of the opposition, you know it is a fake position. You don't deserve that position. You're there simply because the government is protecting you. Like you said in your audio, after your sleep, you went downstairs, you went to ask your security guard. Police, Zambia police, I'm told 4 or 6 are guarding you. What's so special about you? If not to play to the tune of the piper, in this case, Hakainde and his government. We are watching you, Robert, and I feel so sorry that you, of all people, must be issuing threats. You have no right to issue such threats. In fact, for you, I think the jail is waiting for you. Because people like you, we must set an example for. We must make sure that we do not make politics in this country sink to the levels that you have driven them to. You are a very useless member of parliament, and you don't deserve to represent the people of Mafinga. And I am going to make sure, come 2026, we decampaign you and you don't go back to parliament. You belong in jail.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you very much. On the validity, authenticity of that document, I personally went to a very large extent including speaking to some of the people that are mentioned in the document. I also verified when Robert Chabinga was in South Africa, where he stayed, I bothered to put the video, the audio into AI, not just one application, various applications. I'm glad that now even people like, from their side, you know, their own supporters, like Simon Mwewat, today said, let's not say it's AI. Let's deal with the facts. There's a matter out there. That's what we need to do. There's another gentleman who lives here in the United States who supports President Hakainde Hichilema, George N. Mutonga. He also said he put it to AI, and it's not AI. There is a young man, Oliver Shalala, from what we call the M23. He says this is not AI, and I have no right to defend Chabinga. I work for Hichilema. So the authenticity of the audio is no longer in question. That's how serious this matter is. It is true. And like you are saying, if we had a serious government that follows the rule of law, first the president must have resigned. If not, the persons are mentioned and affected must have been arrested. But I'm glad that you spoke to this matter. Mr. President, I think in your address to the issues around this audio, it revealed character flaws in leadership, which you have attributed to. Just walk us to the current state of the country, what our people are going through, the type of leadership President Hakainde Hichilema is providing. Where are we at the moment?
A very important question. The Ambassador, our nation right now is at the crossroads, and we are in dire need of fresh ideas and fresh leadership. Unfortunately, the UPND, under the leadership of Hakainde Hichilema, is failing to provide that leadership. What is happening today is beyond redemption under the current regime, because Hakainde Hichilema has no plans for this country. You may want to know that just halfway through the year, we are already going for supplementary budgets to the tune of 36.6 billion, more money that is required to run this government. In other words, the government is broke. This is the government which is saying it's going to sell a bumper harvest of maize to the DRC. What contradictions? This is the same government which is saying it wants to push with Bill 7, which is an illegality, as named and pronounced by our Constitutional Court. Where is the money going to come from? For politics, they've got the money to run another 55 seats in parliament so that we have a parliament of 211. Where is the money coming from? When you are running supplementary budgets, when the economy is suffering, we are still suffering from load shedding. Many hours. The country is at a standstill in terms of production. Very few companies can afford gensets. We've got companies stealing electricity. We've got companies which are intermediaries. When we buy electricity from Mozambique, they sit in the middle and they sell the power to ZESCO at inflated price so that they can get more money. Same for fuel. We've got a company which has been given the monopoly to run our fuel supplies, but it is hitting the Zambians where industry is supposed to benefit. Power, in terms of energy, be it electricity or fuel, is the engine of industry. It is the engine of production. It is the engine of industries. We are failing to understand how the UPND is giving all these contracts and making the Zambians suffer. But the answer is simple. They are eating from these contracts. Politically, Hakainde Hichilema is introducing laws, media regulation laws, cyber laws, this law, that law, trying to push constitutional amendments. All this is intended to ensure that Zambians are given a shut up, so that Zambians begin to be fearful. Zambians begin to fear to speak. Zambians do not exercise their freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom of movement, freedom of conscience, freedom of association. They want all these to be crippled. And then we've got the chairperson of the ECZ trying to tell us that regalia of another political party cannot be worn when you're campaigning for one other party. And she quotes so many laws. We know that all this is a setup to rigging. Let me ask the Zambians. According to the statement, for example, of one Mwangala Zalomis, chairperson of ECZ, she says we are looking to have another 3.5 million voters put on the voters roll. Right now, we've got 7 point something voters. We are looking to 10 point something million. Okay, fine. Where are those 3.5 million going to come from? Because right now, all we see is that you have no money as ECZ, delimitation has not taken place, and thirdly, and most importantly, the registration exercise for voters hasn't started. So where are the 3.5 million going to come from? This is a rigging machine. I have run elections for a long time. I can see rigging. I can smell rigging a mile away. Let me warn Mwangala Zalomis, my sister, don't get yourself on the wrong side of the law simply because you want to keep your job. Please do not find yourself on the wrong side of the law. We know what the population of this country is. Zamstax has already told us the population of this country. So if you want to increase registration of voters, especially in the strongholds of the UPND, when the people or those numbers do not exist, we shall come after you. Because these officers who have been given these portfolios think because the appointment came from Hakainde as President of the Republic of Zambia, they are immune and therefore they cannot be prosecuted. You will be prosecuted if you are going to engage in criminal enterprise. You will be prosecuted. So I ask again, where are the 3.5 million extra voters going to come from? You want to psych the Zambians to believe that there's an extra 3.5 million Zambians somewhere coming, and therefore when the election results come, you say, we told you that we've got an additional 3.5 million. Where? We want to see all the registers of the electoral voters for the next elections 3-4 months before we go to voting. And we want to double check every polling station. We are going to ensure that we've got polling agents everywhere, monitors everywhere. We shall not be fooled. We are not, as opposition, in this game of politics to just compete. We are here to win. And we know how to win. Zambians, I want to assure you, I have run elections. I have gone to full length to understand how rigging works. UPND, tamwakaitambe bwino. Because I know that's the only formula you are relying on to rig. Because you know the ground has shifted. Imingala toyenu taile womba. And it won't work. But let me say this again. In terms of leadership, this failure to lead by Hakainde is making him tremble. Talesenda more to law. Because now he can hear the footsteps of Tonse coming behind him. He's shaking. He's looking back and checking. Ishtana Ipwa. 4 years. What has he achieved? He has just achieved putting Kambwiri in prison, putting Bowman in prison, Chitotela in prison, Chilango in prison. If that's all your achievement, Bwana, I am telling you, the Zambians are fed up. It is time to pack up. So we as opposition, we are ready to lead and we are ready to take over government. If you are not ready to leave, go with that seat. We are bringing another seat because we are winning these elections. The next elections we are beating you and rigging won't work. So in a nutshell, the ambassador, we have failure of leadership under the UPND. The economy is in shambles. Medical supplies, useless. The theft of medicines is everywhere. We should thank the Americans and especially the Ambassador Michael Gonzalez for bringing out the statistics and figures of corruption. Today, we know that the corruption figures in the UPND exceed 600%. We know that tax evasion under the UPND exceeds 500%. We know that medicines have been stolen. We know that the $20 million the Americans gave us to buy maize from Tanzania, that maize has not arrived. We know all the scandals. We have been told that $3 billion takes flight out of this country annually. And here we are, going to borrow 1.3 billion from the IMF, which is staggered over 5 years. Are we being serious? Is that leadership? So we understand the scandals are there. And we shall ensure, Zambians, mark my words, we shall ensure that whoever is responsible for inflicting this amount of pain, this amount of suffering on the Zambians is taken to book. The law is blind and it will visit all those in the corridors of power today. They shall be answerable to the Zambian people. Tuachula sana, and we cannot allow this to go on.
Thank you, and I like that clear thoughtfulness. But one of the things which you had earlier alluded to, President Hakainde Hichilema is entrenching tyranny, is entrenching dictatorship. He's trying very hard to control all wings of government, parliament, with Nelly Moti, the judiciary, and he's also tried very hard to control the Electoral Commission of Zambia. This sometimes puts our people in exasperation with that tight grip he's putting on these democratic institutions, turning them to be his institution instead of institutions of the Constitution. What would you say to Zambians that are concerned? You said we know how to win elections, despite an incumbent president trying to tighten or steal that election. My second question is your sounding of the alarm that Mwangala Zalomis is determined to bring another 3.5 million people on the register. Many people would say in 2021, 7.5 were registered, but only 4 million turned up to vote. People would think that Mwangala Zalomis would devote her time to ensure that we beat the voter apathy that affected the 2021 elections. But she actually wants to increase by another 3.5 million people. I think those are good issues. Maybe first attend to this tyrannies, use the cyber laws. Our people are very concerned. When you open the phone lines, you hear everyone wants to remain anonymous. They are afraid to say who they are when they speak on public platform. To the extent to which he has come to the opposition, to all of you, where he's trying to clamp you down, jail you before time, or cripple you before time. All these threats sometimes give the people of Zambia a sense of hopelessness that maybe, their efforts will be in vain. Please speak to that issue.
Thank you, Ambassador. Very serious points there. Let me begin with the tyranny that you refer to, or indeed this dictatorship in the making, I want to assure my fellow Zambians that as Zambia must prosper, and a member of the Tonse Alliance, and as its leader, I want you, all the Zambians, to know that I am not afraid of Hakainde. I want that to sink. I am not afraid of Hakainde. I know him. Number two, I'm not afraid of any criminal case that can me, because I have none. 3, I want you, my fellow Zambians, to know that every law that Hakainde has put in place, which you feel is suffocating you, we are going to ensure that those laws are repealed immediately when we get into office. So what you should not do is to sit and wait and say nothing. You have power, the power to vote this government out of office. Vote us into office and we shall repeal those laws. That's my promise. Hakainde, if you've gone back to the videos, that he was going to repeal cyber laws, he has increased them. He promised that he was going to do away with regulation of the media. He has brought it because power is sweet. He doesn't believe in democracy. The guy is building a dictatorship. Now we, as Zambians, can only allow him at our own peril. So let us not be afraid. Remember what the Bible is telling us. Fear not, my fellow Zambians. Fear not. Hakainde muntu fear. Beyond that, the party of fear. The law, we can only change new power. We, in Tonse, and Zambia must prosper in particular, are telling you, we need your support, we need your help to get power. The only way democratically we change government is you wake up, go and vote this government power, that authority. We shall change the laws and repeal them. But don't just vote for me as president or any one of my friends who is there to lead you. No. Give us enough number parliament, because we need the numbers to change the laws. So I shall repeat. This is your hope. Your hope is in the power of the vote that you possess. Register as a voter if registered. If you are already a registered voter, keep your NRC and your voter's card on the sidelines. As Dennis Liwewe would say, Zambia is warming the player, and the player is your voter's card. Is your NRC, Bwana. Keep it alive. Keep it alive. Because we know this is how we're going to score. We need to score in 2026. Hakainde Hichilema is hopeless. He's scared. He's more scared than me. He's scared, and that's why you want to move the fear to you. I am here to tell you, fear not. We are here. Some of us are prepared to sacrifice ourselves for you. Do not be afraid. In the book, never to be afraid of the being. Makansha kwetu kwa bulaifwe. Tapali, muntu fye. So these laws must not frighten you. In fact, they must be your motivation to wake up in huge numbers to go and vote this government out of power, so that you put in a government that is going to ensure that the laws are repealed, the laws that you don't want. Secondly, are playing a game of hide and seek. They don't know how to attack the Zambians except to instill fear, threats, and intimidation. Historically, go back to our forefathers. Ask ourselves, if our forefathers were scared of the white Muzungu colonialists, were we going to liberate this country? The answer is no. So what are we scared of?
Mr. President, just a minute. Your network seems to be buffering, but we must be okay. Before we open the phone lines, I want you to speak to the issue of the opposition. There is Tonse Alliance. There is United Kwacha Alliance. There is the Zambia We Want. Then there are other people, prominent personalities outside these alliances. What are you doing as the opposition? Are you just locked in Tonse Alliance? Are there efforts to reach out, for example, to political parties that may not be in the alliance, like the Socialist Party or Citizen First? Are you coordinating civil society, NGOs, the church, labor unions? How are you, in your capacity, as Zambia Must Prosper, a member of Tonse Alliance, are you reaching out to the others?
A very important question, Ambassador. The Zambians. We began a process of talking. We know that we may have some teething problems, especially after the death of our 6th Republican president, who was our chairperson. But we have enough experience. Been through this. Remember when Vasata died, we faced a crisis as well. So some of us know how to navigate these currents and ensure that we come to a consensus. Now that we are getting back to reorganization, we are going to be calling for meetings so that we begin talking. We also need to understand that Tonse was entrenched under the leadership of ECL, the late president. But now we need leadership. We can't dwell in the past for too long. Zambia needs a fresh start. Zambia needs fresh leadership. Zambia needs fresh hope. And that's what they provide. So our friends and those who are outside are realizing that they can't work alone. I'm glad I heard recently my young brother, President Kalaba, was saying that he would like to join an alliance of sorts and wants to work with people of like minds. I know that the Socialist Party candidate in Mfue, for whatever reasons, but at an appointed time we shall engage. There are other political parties like we may need to engage them. However, in any alliance system that we are going to propose, we don't need to be at 100% as opposition coming together. And I believe this is the thinking of my other fellow members in Tonse. If we can reach 70-80% of unison, we are able to win an election. That I know. We may reach 100% in terms of unity or come together, but at the table, there may be too many egos. Some form of toxicity may emerge. Other differences may emerge. We just want people of like minds. We want people who are going to believe in the beliefs that ECL, late former President Sata, and the pro-poor policies that we had for the Zambian people. Those are the people who have come to the... That's what we believe in. We want to win these elections. And sometimes coming together means one thing, that we should put aside our egos, we should put aside personal differences. Things, if they come to the table, they'll pollute the atmosphere. Instead of focusing on winning an election, we'll be focusing on positions. That what we whatever is John Tonse, whatever we want to bring to Tonse, we must find people of like minds and people who understand what we believe in Tonse and what we stand for. So I said, we are getting there. And I can assure the Zambians, in the next few months, we shall get there. And what they're looking for in terms of leadership, they shall soon get.
Thank you, Mr. President. To our dear listeners and viewers and wherever you are watching us from, the lines are now open. We are hosting Zambia Must Prosper, President and member of the Tonse Alliance. He is speaking to various issues, the state of the country, the issue of the audio. Mr. President, I will ask you to indulge and just listen to the number of calls that we'll take, pick the questions. When you come to answer these questions, I would also want you to answer on an issue of policies. In your quest to merge with others or be in alliance with others, is the issue of policy other than the leadership also being discussed? So I will start with the phone calls and then you come and answer.
Thank you.
Please welcome to the program. Switch off your line and your monitor program and answer to the call. Good evening.
Hello. Am I clear now?
Yes, you are. You are clear. Thank you very much. Please introduce yourself, ask your question, be brief. The phone is buzzing already. We are hosting Honorable KBF. Ask him your question.
Okay, I would rather remain anonymous.
Anonymous, you're welcome.
Yes, good evening, Ambassador Mwamba. Good evening, State Council. I would like to find out, because we really need to remove this UPND, but now we have heard that Hakainde Hichilema is planning to bring the biometric way of voting. And I don't know, because we have never done that. Even first world countries don't practice that. So how does he get this idea, and how confident can we be in such a system, knowing that it's going to be transparent and it's going to be genuine what the Zambian people want? And from what we heard today, I saw on President Kasonde Mwenda that he has engaged somebody who's 27 years old to do this, I think, software thing. I don't know, someone with a company registered in Mauritius, but this person has never done anything like this. He's never held elections. He doesn't have a profile to prove his work. Like, how can an entire nation trust such a big project with somebody without a history of sort? I would like to find out on that. Yeah, so thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is it, just handed out a tender of $2.5 million to a Zimbabwean national whose company is registered in Mauritius, is 27 years old, as she has said, has no history of this matter, and has been given that 2.5 million. And what is your view about electronic voting? I think that was the issue. Let's pick the other cause. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador Mwamba.
Good evening.
Good evening, my brother Fube. Good to see you.
Good evening, sir.
My name is Chilufia from the UK. Mwamba, I just have a few comments to make, or a few questions to make.
You better be brief. You've seen the calls are buzzing.
Yes, I'll be brief. And the first one is the United Front. Fube, I was involved in 2021, and we brought in HH, and I've traveled throughout Zambia. I was in Zambia in November. And what Zambians want currently is a united front. They don't want Tonse, they don't want Uka. They want all the oppositions to come together because the country is in a crisis. And then Zambians are expecting whatever united front will be formed. Yes, it might not be 100%, but it should be at least 90% or 80%. They want us, you guys, to come up with an interim economic policy. And one of the worries of, one of the interests of Zambians is the mines. People are saying we need to control the mines. We are not saying we need to nationalize, but we need to control the mines. There's no country in the world that has developed without harnessing their God-given resources. When you just look at Mopani was given to the Friends of HH. I'm sorry to say that. You have to look into that. Then two, the ECZ, Zambians are worried. Zambians are saying this, if you don't do anything as the opposition, Ambassador Mwamba was just talking about giving such a sensitive contract to a foreigner to do with the elections. So that's a rigging machine. The rigging machine has already started. You're a lawyer. What are we going to do to stop that? Because this is a company owned by one person. Something needs to be done to stop that because the rigging machine has already started. So people are saying this election is going to be Zambia versus ECZ. You know? So I rest my case.
Thank you, Chilufya, from the United Kingdom. Thank you very much. Let's see how quickly we can take as many calls as possible for the president to answer. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Yeah, this is Darius calling from Lusaka.
Speak up, Darius. Speak up and make your contributions or question.
Yes, KBF. How are you, Mr. KBF?
He can hear you.
Hello?
He can hear you. Proceed to make your contributions.
Yes, I just have a few concerns that I also want to raise. Yeah, I'm getting KBF saying they want to come together just because they want to keep the weekend out of power. Is that really what you can make you come together?
Thank you very much for that call.
I want to take...
Please be brief. Please be brief. There are so many calls. Hello. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Are you ready for me?
Yes. Good evening. Who's calling? But Kelvin Kafwimbi from Australia.
Yes.
Yes, Honorable KBF is listening.
KBF, how are you? You know me very well. You handled my late brother's funeral, Kalunga Mumba, the ex-CEO of Thing, Mamba Colliery, which is very close, that you know. But anyway, first of all, now let's mainly concentrate about my... I want to talk about the first caller. The first caller was talking about the concern of people in Zambia. I've got a very brief history because we are not many that are my age mates like Bwalya and Wachimba Kambwiri that are left anymore. And there's one thing that happened to Hakainde. When Hakainde had the coup with Mwamba Luchembe, there was one man that got up, the late General Chanda. He stopped that coup single-handedly. I don't know if many of you know that. Single-handedly, he stopped it because he said it was wrong. All the generals had run away. And when Kaunda lost the elections, when he asked now the commanders, they said, no, sir, you have lost. I'm not going to say whatever is happening now. I know it's a rumor. Maybe it may be a rumor, it may be true. that Bakateka Validata, Bruno Babo. I don't know if the current commander is the wife's sister or whatever, but eventually there will be someone that will come up. So these concerns that we've got of a uniting front and everything, eventually the Zambians, we are all rising. And this is our job, to rise against something that is wrong. It has happened to the biggest before, and now we are looking at a smallest. And he thinks is the biggest. So my last point is, take the heed of what all the callers are going to be saying, to be united, agree to serve under someone if need be. If you are chosen, so be it. If you are not, just lift up your hands and say, I'm serving under this person. Because the bigger Zambia is the best Zambia. And I rest my case.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Bakafumbi from Australia. Thank you for that wonderful contributions. Honorable KBF, you are willing to lead, but are you willing to be led? That's a fundamental question. Let's take some more calls. The phones are buzzing. I just want to get us, just so you have a feel of what Zambians across the world and in Zambia are saying. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, this is an anonymous call.
Anonymous, make your contributions.
Okay, I would like to ask a question and advise Mr. KBF. I know I was one of his students in 2011 when he was doing the anti-leaking campaign. So I would like to advise Mr. KBF. I think if he can be one of our candidates in 2026, but if only, it's just my suggestion, if he can leave his party, goes to PF, because he's got a PF blood, so that he stands on the PF ticket using the Tonse Alliance. Because Mr. KBF is the only leader that we can follow, because he has no fear of anything. And you can see the people who are in exile. Those people had a very big hope in the late President Dr. Edgar Chagwalungu. Now, since the demise of Mr. Edgar Chagwalungu, may his soul rest in peace, those people now are thinking what to do and what to follow. So we need a very powerful leader like KPF who can be our candidate in 2026, because he has no fear.
Thank you very much, my brother. Honorable KBF, he says you are fearless and you are therefore ideal to lead. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador. I'll go by Anonymous.
Yes, Mr. Anonymous, make your contribution.
Before I do that, firstly, I would love to recommend you and say I'm very proud of what you are doing, the job that we actually should be doing as the youths, but you've taken up that challenge. I'm proud of you. And I want to also recommend Mr. KBF, the energy that is come up with.
Wonderful. Quickly make your contribution, my brother. Quickly make your contributions.
What I want to say, yes, they should be very strong about it, because mostly they are making alliances with the wrong people that are surrogates of the UPND government. They are not taking time to recognize, to say, uyu muntu wetatenga uyu nisa aishtamingo na bandani. Who is he spending most times with? Because look at Chabinga. Chabinga looked like an innocent soul in the PF. But look how Chabinga has destroyed the PF and the name of the country at large. So make this alliance strong, make it work, but check the people that you are bringing in the alliance.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you very much. Honorable KBF, scrutinize the people that are coming in the alliance. I think that's a message. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Vamwamba twamiposha mwandishi wa techi turande neshina apate ni anonymous firomba abantu bose nipo ba anonymous.
Ba anonymous landeni.
Twachirafu afesi tuchite comment vamwamba mwebene umurimo murebo mbo ukuru wakurabusha spirit wa Michael Sate utire munanu ba KPF. Na tutemwa sana okumfa ku voice ya ba KPF yakwati abonza bareshita ma politics ya Afiko aya burushina bukabwalala. To making sure that na urobushku kwakuya mkuvota bula to making sure that tukamone sanity tule kumkompesha naba nesu aba ku southern province na bena cause tule chwira pamona bena tule baba ku southern province bali platform naba tabale umfa mbele ko bamwambo kutira ati ikintu bali tobera tibushku chikesa chikeshira bonse na bena besuke kwa mensu because urobushku kwakuchura getting was at continue tukisa mkuchura bonse final road shedding.
Thank you very much. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother. Honorable President, just allow me just to take a few calls. The phone is ringing and buzzing, and let's just see how many calls we can quickly take to allow our people to speak. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good afternoon, rather. This is Mildred, calling from the United States.
Yes, Mildred.
Yes, I'll be very, very brief. Good evening, Mr. President. Number one, I just want to say that I come from the same place where Chabinga comes from, and I just want to say that it's actually very embarrassing in our tribe with what he has done, number one. But very quickly to you, Mr. President, one, who are the advisors of HH? Two, when he was coming into party, did he have people that he can look up to on how to run a nation? I rest my case. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mildred from the United Kingdom, and she says she's from Chabinga's home in Mafinga. And she's very sad. We'll just take some more calls. Mr. President, I hope you are noting. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling from. Hello, who's calling? Uh-oh. I think we are failing. It's failing. Let's. Hello. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Would you like to participate on the program?
Hello. How are you, Honorable Emmanuel Mamba?
Very well, thank you.
Ambassador and our future president, KBF.
Thank you very much. Who's calling and where are you calling us from?
This is Lillian Mutambo. I'm calling you from the UK.
Oh, Lillian, what a pleasure.
Yes.
Please make your contribution.
I'm using my US line.
Okay.
Okay. It's an honor to have a KBF on this platform. I follow him. I've been watching most of his videos. Say that he is our hope as Zambian people. My only fear is, his security, if he's safe with the way HH is targeting potential candidates. And also, how are we going to protect other candidates, such as members of parliament, who are aspiring to stand under Tonse or his party? I believe we should be united as one voice. My plea is that all political parties should put aside all their, differences and desires, but they should stand together to remove HH from power. My question is, how best can we convince our Zambian people to vote for KBF and the team with regards to how UPND came into power using propaganda? Because right now, I'm sure they are planning some propaganda for you, KBF. That's what HH is very good at. And for somebody who was part of UPN, I know that's how they've been running their political affairs. How best can we secure you as our president? We don't want you to go missing on the day of voting or maybe on the day of nomination. Are you safe and how best is the police as well protecting all candidates. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Lillian, and thank you. It's an honor for you, Lillian, and thank you for participating on this program. We are grateful. My brother, you got cut. I hope you are the one that called earlier. Tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello, this is Moyo from Livingston, Zambia.
Moa from Livingston, make your contribution, my brother.
Yeah, my contribution is just a suggestion in a way. Because we have seen that the PF has made through the Tons Alliance, and that one is undoubtedly the fact. As we met, especially in South Africa, when we went to attend the burial for the late president, most of the people that came there, the people that we met there, from the Tons Alliance, and most of them, I can say that they've got the blood of PF. What I've seen is that I want to make a suggestion. Program one, they don't say program. Suggestion, I think this is the right time that someone like you can lead the nation, because you are able to interact with everyone, which already shows that you can unite the country so fast. Right now, what we want is not to make a choice for whatever reasons. What we want is to make a choice for somebody to unite Zambia as soon as possible, so that Zambia can get back to its track. We've lost a lot, and everyone knows about that. So I'm proposing strongly that you should become our next president. Let the Tons Alliance act as a board.
Vamwewa, nataja sana natu kwa tawa president hapa.
In the Tons Alliance, together with the man I respect so much, Vamembe, Bakaraba, Bonsaba, they can be part of the board to make sure that we put in place a country that everyone is going to admire. Zambia is a peaceful country. Zambia is a loving country. Zambia is a rich country. I think this is the right time that we take it upon ourselves to develop this country. Bamwamba, be our president.
Yona vamwona la vaputula vamwewa ninkwatava guest Natasha sana for the encouragement, but ninkwatava guest, and I want you to direct your question to the guest. Thank you for your trust in me, but I have got a guest who's doing very well and he will contribute. Hello, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Anonymous, calling you.
Anonymous, make your contributions quickly. Oh, that line is cut. He's probably calling from Zambia. We have a lot of lines that are cutting from Zambia. Oh, now I've got, Honorable KBF, I've got Father Oscar Mwansa Pombo, who's a Catholic priest based in Italy. But Donosco, please make your contributions or ask questions to the president.
Thank you very much, and good evening, everybody. Good evening, President KBF, Mwabomben Mkwai. And it's my pleasure indeed to see you on Mwamba's program. Mwamba na wabe wabando chao na mwe muke mini na fikwe na na next na tundonga veti na mwa Mwamba kuti mwai mini na hapa tuafika hapa. So, KBF, Honorable, according to me, what I'm listening, what we are hearing from the Zambian people, we are really happy that you are all contemplating to come together. We do not hate HH as a person, but the Zambian people have not accepted the methodology and the system that the UPND has used during these 4 years or 5 years of governance. So my encouragement and my question is that KBF, looking at what has happened on the leaked audio of Mr. Chabinga, which I have verified myself, and I've found out that it was not artificial intelligence. Now, that audio is very serious. It's a very serious audio, which I hope the government, the UPND government, can look into it seriously and clear our country, because the embarrassment is not only for Chabinga, but the embarrassment is there for all the Zambian people. Now, looking at that audio there, one question. If Mingalato has been taken to South Africa, KBF, how are you confident that the Mingalato will not be taken to Namibia or to where the printing of the ballot papers are going to be done? So how are you confident that Mingalato will not be taken from South Africa and been taken now to the young man, 27-year-old man who has been given the authority to print for the next year's election? That's the first question.
Second, I've got so many people waiting, Father.
Second question, by Kelvin. How safe are you as politicians? And I think I end here. How safe are you as politicians? Thank you very much.
Truly. Let me take the last call for this series and allow the president to answer. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
I am one of the anonymous.
Thank you, Anonymous. Make your contributions quickly.
Yes. Good evening, President KBF. It's an honor to ask you maybe one or two questions. First and foremost, I want to say that President Hakainde is a danger to Zambia and to Africa at large. Like Father Mpombo just said, we don't hate him, we just need him to move out of the way because Zambia needs to go back to normalcy. Now, I'm going to ask you a question that applies to anyone else who wishes to be president, but I would really like you to answer this question. In the event that you are not the one picked to be the flag bearer for the presidential candidate on behalf of the opposition alliance, will you rally behind whoever will be the flag bearer and support the unity of the opposition? Or do you feel that maybe if you're not picked, then you have to go on your own? That is question number one. Question number two, quickly, what are you going to do about ECZ and the Mingalato they are playing? This refers to the issue of the ECZ banning, political parties from wearing their own regalia, and as well as the system they are trying to put up, the biometric system in the elections. What are you going to do? Because I think what you do now before the elections about this issue will have a bearing on the elections, and also will have a bearing on what people think about you as a potential president. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Honorable, and thank you very much, Ambassador, for taking my.
Thank you very much. Mr. President, what we do is, Musupa, we left enough Mona, people really want to talk to you. There are so many calls. Chila Diva Pano. So I think use the opportunity to respond to the various questions, Musupa Wila, then you take another set, then we begin to wind up. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. I think the question of biometrics, vote, and of our own seriously with lots of callers. Very serious concern. That it's incumbent on systems in place which are going to safeguard the voting and our votes to be secured. If we are going to talk about this contract which has been given to this young man from Zimbabwe, I want to assure the Zambians that we're going to scrutinize this contract. Feel that need we just try, because as far as we're concerned, this election coming up in 2026 is too serious to leave to the hands of the UPND and the likes of Mangala Zalomi. I want to say right now, the Zambians' trust levels in the ECZ are below 10% as we speak. So it is up to the ECZ to make themselves give legitimacy to this. President, they can done our first. Mr. President, we seem to have network challenges on your side, so I had to cut you and put some videos. Let me just try to pick some calls as your technician there sorts out the issue of internet. But you can hear me take the questions so that then they will help us. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, the ambassador, and good evening, the guest, President KBF.
Thank you very much. Mkwai, tubalanda mkwai fo turasuminisha fitundu ifidi fyonse.
Natotera mkwai. Ndefo okwipisha ko mkwai bonse bamwamba bende ambassador na ba KBF ba lawyer ilo kabili ba president wa party. Bushe ilio ubuteko buleiso upya mu 2026 pantu kwena ubwa UPND twafirwa ngati walafisa mete mkuyinga. Tule twendi kwa kapute shinashile fo kulanda. Iyo mkwai ndi kuchembe nshilelande shina. Ndi kuuka zimba nshilelande shina. Tuwalaika lashani mchalo umwemo tuwafyalirwa. Tule fisana. Tule baba refugee umwe tuwafyalirwa. Umwemo mwemo ashikwe mteto ya shukolo fiesu. Nomba tuwalaya kuisu kwa kuti identity yesu ibefe. Tubefe liberated people. Kwa endele keni nande kwe pindali mwechi. Tule mbachi mochitila. Shimusenga ntanga. Ishimulambata shakwe. Ba President Bwalya na bamwambaka fwaeni abaishibe chibembe chibamilondoro rwino n'indishwa tayakumanisha.
Wekeshe nipo mayo. Wekeshe nipo iyo ifyo mwalanda.
Mkwai. Ipinde lya chibembe limolitila shimusenga ntanga. Ishimulambata eshakwe. Intanga is a wild fruit tayaba common sana. Ilile tuilina modernization ilimbi. Paku uchiwe mumpango makusisanga kanokulioko baikali chibemba sana. Shirentanga back to Shukwate, unless you are shaking the tree, you are cutting, you are knocking the tree. Elo shasunkana, elo tashipona panch mostly. Shiponena pa muntu, elo shakambatila kufia kufuana nangu. Kuchilundu, ili anshita bale fuale filundu. So shiponene panch shishila kwate michanga. kashi shira shine shikulambete kumuviri shiponeneko esho babula. In this case, ndechita interpret ukutila imwe bonse ba opposition party, please team up. If ofweba kuvota tukamikonka. You understand? Tumuleba 1-1 atipaka bechenu. Tapaka bechesu. Twalaika laba afisa malionse. Iyo ninebo anonymous. But bonse ba anonymous twefaya umutende twefo kumonekela. Okuti tuli muchalo mumweso. Tukaya refugee kwisa. Bantu noko mwenga pangati mwenye kwa refugee na lilanda po nalimbita kwa ku Zambia pano apo tuinga mutukila kunkondo. Na ku South Africa chintu chimbicho ndefo kulanda kukwipisha. Ba President KPF na ba mwapa. You people are knowledgeable. Na bonse member listeners all over the world. Mushe imisoka ba atiba Chabinga kwena na batala. Ilabele mkulanda ati chiteni njishira mkuchita bribe ba judge ba ku South Africa. Bantu ba judge ba ku South Africa kuno bakutuba kupingu ilo mulanda kuno kano baye. Mukutila balala jaji aleba nti baje ushomu teko kwa buleti poshani ukuti basi boti umuntu wa Zambia yamkube bati mulali imwe bajaji bakuno ku South Africa bakuti mupingu yo mulungu umuntu umlando in his or her favor elo chimbi ngoko kuine kuchije uko ba mayo bana lungu no lupwa abantu wale milando oshe kuliko insambu uko benga twala kokala kene ka audio baya chitako interpret ifo benga chitana AI wonso yuwine tumfuire kwena chile papusha muzambia twalaika lashani ukufuma mu 1964 twalika lashani twalika kwa isa bakabaka inde twalale bale batwalafisama uchelo lyonse nishinabeka tomu tulelo twamfatizuma kukwaka pute tule mfefi tukwati tuipa mwishina babalaisa mkutuingirira kuno twalaika lashani na totela mkwai.
Thank you very much, the voice of Kaputa. Thank you very much. Let me take some calls. I think the internet for Honorable KBF is beginning to be stable. Let me take some more calls. We use this opportunity. Good evening. Please tell us your name, where and where you are calling us from.
Good evening. I'm calling you from Tanzania. But I know that our president Japanomba na network inachimuna ile shupa.
He's around.
I'm here.
Yeah, he can hear you. You can.
I'm here.
Yeah, he can hear you.
Good
Please
evening,
make
sir.
your contributions quickly.
Yes. Okay. 3 days ago, I was we had Mr. State Council Sakura Scott. I did mention the same thing. Forbidden that anyway, the question is coming like this. But President, ukumirwa pakanwa mulesa chitaposhani. Bamwambana mwikishefu na ipishefu na yuna bweke shapo. Ero kabidi
ukubilwa kwa pakanwa. Cyber laws, yes. Okay.
Mukulosha kumfundo uleperwa kubantu besu sana kulatwa makasaba kujaba mama.
Thank you. Let's take the quick call so that then we just allow Honorable KBF to wind up. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
I'm calling from Maryland.
From Maryland. Make your contributions. Introduce yourself and make your contributions.
I'll go as anonymous, but I've worked with KBF.
Wonderful.
Yes, anonymous.
Please proceed. Mute your other device so you are listening through feedback. Just listen to me. You're on the phone with me. Make your contributions.
Yes, I'm in Maryland right now, but I live in Zambia. I think KBF can detect my voice.
My brother, don't listen to feedback. Just talk.
Yes.
Just proceed to talk.
Yeah, I've worked with KBF before. Since 2011, we participated in the elections, and 2015 and 2016. The question is, KBF, with all your experience that you've had, and I don't see anyone fighting this guy other than you because of what you've you've done before. You protected Mr. Michael Sata's election at a time when it was very difficult under the MMD. And Mr. Sata went through. You did the same with ECL 2015 and 2016. And eventually, I guess, you did the same for UPND. Now, what have you put in place to protect your vote? Do you have the capacity and the people to protect the ballot box like you did it before? Because these guys, they are very sophisticated. What is the difference between the past elections and the present one? Thank you.
Mr. President, your internet looks very stable now. Maybe let's use the opportunity for you to answer to all these issues as you were answering, and then I'll take the last set of calls.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. I was answering on the issue of biometrics. And for me, it's a very serious concern because I want the Zambians to know that every election is different. The last caller has also alluded to what strategies have we put in place. The strategies are ongoing, and you can see that the electoral landscape is evolving as we move going further. One thing I want to assure the Zambians is the UPND is desperate. The UPND is scared. The UPND wants to employ every tactic in the rigging book. But I want to assure the Zambians, we are equal to the task. Please trust us when we say we are equal to the task. I am very happy that some of you know that we have enough experience in ensuring election rigging doesn't happen. But here's a thought. The first people to guard the vote are you, my fellow Zambians. You must be there on polling day yourselves. Whatever Mingalato these people are preparing, meaning the government, in the electoral process, can only succeed if you sleep. When you decide to sleep, they'll succeed. But I'm here to assure you that on our part, unfortunately, I may not delve very much into a lot of strategies because by UPND will hear and they'll go and change and then move the goalposts. That's not what we do when we come on media. We want to ensure that we tell you, the Zambians, that in us you've got a team that is willing to listen, a team that's willing to protect the vote, a team that knows what is supposed to be done. I worked with Hakainde in the last elections under the UPND alliance. And I can tell you that they are not as sophisticated as you people want to make them seem. They are not. In fact, I know their systems. I was with them. If they are going to move the needle, they may not move the needle too far. Remember, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. So we know. Even the people they want to use, some of them, they are talking to us. We know. We know what's at stake here. I want to assure you, Zambians, let's not take chances. But the first thing I want to implore the Zambians to do is to be awake. Do not give the UPND this chance to rig the elections. Anyone who knows anything about elections understands rigging is a process. And I agree with one of the callers. The rigging process has started. It has started at the ECZ. We know what they are trying to do there. We cannot speak too much here because we are trying to find antidotes to what they are doing. And we shall find those antidotes. The goodness about these elections is at least we've got another 10 months to prepare. We are not just going to do the antidotes using AI and using other computer technology. No, we shall also go and test the legitimacy of what they are doing legally in court. We want Mangala Zalomis and that team to come and defend what they are doing. Do our mothers in Kaputa, our mothers in Shangombo, in Mlowezi, in Feira, in Chadiza, understand this biometric thing they are trying to do? If not, who do they want to differentize? All these are questions we can put before the court. And the courts can stop this nonsense. Because it is nonsense. Zambia is not as developed as the United States or the UK or Germany or France. These countries don't do the kind of things Zambia wants to do. Let's not be seen to be running with technology, leaving our people behind. It doesn't work. The people and the community called Zambia must move with technology. If technology goes ahead of the people, it means Mulefu Okuyama votes. That we will not allow. So I just want to assure you Zambians, we are working day and night, and we've got information, we've got friends in the system, they're telling us things. I can't divulge too many things here. Ambassador Mwachewati in Supawile. The other concern that has come, which is important, is my sister Lillian and I think our father Vachipusha from Italy. Are we safe as politicians? That's a very serious question. From what has been happening, I can safely tell you that most of us have increased our security. Most of us know that we are not safe. In this regime of Hakainde Hichilema, we are not safe. When I was with Hakainde Hichilema in the alliance, he kept preaching, Mwana mi, I was arrested 15 times, Mwana mi, blah, 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 and the blah, 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 and the blah, blah, blah. It was not as bad as it is today. Hakainde Hichilema has made the environment in Zambia for political players to be very bad, to be worse than it was when he was being arrested those 15 times. He wants to intimidate and threaten people. We can't allow that. So for us,
please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador.
Good evening. Anonymous, make your contribution.
I would like to commend you on what you're doing so far. Thank you very much for speaking for us, number one. Number two, thank you for bringing my favorite president on the show today. I have two things that have been bothering me. Number one is over the biometrics. How can that be stopped? We need to stop it. Number two is over the taxpayers' money that is being wasted. We've seen how different people are benefiting from this taxpayers' money. How can that be stopped? How can we just make sure that every Zambian is protected when it comes to their contributions? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
This is Anonymous.
Anonymous, make your contributions.
I just have one question for Mr. KBF. Bwana KBF, ninacho question imoja straight kuli mwa KBF. Napali cyber bill. Cyber bill wanapeleka parliament third reading. Second reading waikana hicho. Third reading sina bwere parliament wa KBF. Mwenze mkali wa roya na kudana na manje mkali wa roya. Wae mnaile kelele cha bill ya turning into law. I submit.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Ambassador Mama Matipa here.
Yes, Anik Matipa, yes. Make your contributions quickly.
Yeah, my contribution is I want to applaud KBF. You're speaking very well. I equally want to add on that KBF, my brother, I'm try to identify some powerful women in the entire Zambia that can rally behind you to try and remove this monster that we have here in Zambia. We are not playing with a small animal in Zambia. Uyu muntu uyu tulefo okutenuna kubika pusana mano. We have to be strong. Identify some fearless, banamayo na wababa fearless, to take on the mantle. Nokufumia po yu mugulu yu. Remember Kaunda's words. Bakumutenu no you. You need the whole nation to rise and remove this monster that we have.
Yes.
Tewangalo yu. Banamayo. Badi kusana bomba politics. A lot of women surpass the men that vote in Zambia. And people listen to women. That is my contribution. Otherwise, Fube, a big up to you. Fearless gentleman. Speaking very well. Well done. Thank you, Bamwamba.
Thank you. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Chungulo mkwayuko wonse ine ishinali andini ne kabongo pano pe Syria pa Congo mkwai na chilafuwa ya ndande na bashukuru ba KBF
bale umfwa
bashukuru ba KBF nine kabongo pano pa Kashobwe nomba bashukuru ba KBF mchibemba mulanda tekusushilu kwendamo Elio kabiri efikala na maikata bashukuru ba KBF werere ni kuli bandu meshenu na bankashishenu kulya ku PF nishibana mkwata iti pani nomba kabiye nikikaleni panchi mu wiki shani ngamwa wiki shanya pantu ine parwandi fengo mwina Zambia bashukuru ba KBF nali mfiko mulandu umofie imweni mwe aleterepo aba bashukuru bantu bamwishidu mbulwa nomba kabiri twalami bwekesha molo mwatuletere bamwishidu mbulwa kabiye nikapangulule ni fintu panto bo mwatuletere wena baona ulapafula.
Thank you very much. Because there are so many honorable KBF. Hello, could you please tell us your name and where you are calling us from?
Good evening, Zambia. This is Danis Nyango. I'm calling you from Canada.
Danis Nyango from Canada. Make your contributions.
Thank you very much. Ambassador Manuel Mwamba, we just want to thank you. May God continue blessing you.
No, thank you very much.
This is your appeal to
you.
The Zambian people are looking up to you guys in the opposition. Apa, the ball is in your hands. I would even urge you guys to even call a national endeavor among your opposition so that you can have a roadmap where you can work things and iron out any small petty differences and work as a team. We need to save our country, Zambia. And the ball is in you guys. We don't want you to disappoint us. I just want to urge you guys, work as a team, work as one Zambia, one nation. We should not have a Zambia where we are scared. We are one Zambia, one nation. So the KPF, twamulomba na bonsama opposition abaleo mfwa. Work as one team.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you very much from Canada. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good evening, Wamamba and KBF. This is Robam from
good evening,
Manchester, UK. Thank you so much, KBF. You've presented yourself very, very well today. And I was looking forward to listen to your vision for the country. But what I just wanted to say, as you go forward, as the opposition in trying to find someone to lead us, please, let's remember that the country is so divided. And we need someone that's going to bring the people together so that we continue to develop our country. That's the main thing. We want someone that will be a servant of the people, someone that will be willing to go to every region of the country and embrace everyone as a Zambian. That's the first thing we need as Zambia. Not to work about no case and economies on paper, and then you try to deliver. That's the first thing we want. We want someone with high tolerance, empathy, and above all, love. Not to work out, no, you Zambians get hate me. No, we Zambians love each other. Thank you so much. You've done so well. And we can't wait to do great things in the next government. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Robam, from Manchester, United Kingdom. Good
you.
evening. Please tell us your name quickly and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, comrade. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Who's calling?
My name is Jared Anthony Bax, calling you from within Lusaka.
Yes, my dear brother. Make your contributions quickly.
Yeah, we'll make our contribution quickly. I hope Fube is not AI like how it's going on social media. To make it quickly, what I want to say is that for so many years, we've tried so many alliances, it hasn't worked. So what we're urging you, opposition leaders today is to come together and, sort out and iron all your differences that you have and come up with a candidate now. Not even but security mood, we are protecting our candidate. You need to start campaigning now and going on the ground now. So we urge the opposition to unite, bring in stakeholders, bring in more people, give us a candidate so that we start going on the ground and start campaigning for the next candidate, because this government is a letdown and it's a failed project.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you very much. Sorry. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
I'm fine, and how are you? I'm calling from New Jersey, Trenton.
You are calling from New Jersey?
Trenton.
Okay. Make your contribution. Introduce yourself and make your contribution.
My name is Mlenga.
Okay,
my
Mlenga.
My contribution is to Mr. KBF. If they don't pick him up to be a president, and if they pick somebody else, is he going to support that person? And the other contribution is I want all these small parties to join one party that is big, so that they can manage to remove Kasongo.
Thank you very much. Let me take the last 2-3 calls, Honorable KBF. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Anonymous.
Anonymous, be brief.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. President KBF, how are you, sir?
Is listening. Please proceed with
I'm
your
fine.
question.
Okay, thank you so much. So, in a question in the push, which opposition in someone like Karapanch, so that the next president, and then put in the question on the push. Issue and ya PF ni Luisa olo Dave Emmanuel Mwamba Move Luisa olo mlia convention olo barasala nan kani president one next, because ya chilamu mingala tutule monapa Luisa barasala next president.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. President, I'm taking last calls out. You can respond and we close. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Ambassador, good afternoon. Chanda here, Indianapolis.
Chanda in the U.S., Indianapolis. Make your contributions.
Yes, good evening, President KBF.
He can hear you.
Good evening, Chanda. Good evening.
So for me, I think Zambia needs a complete overhaul of its institutions. Institutions like the ECZ, the DEC, the ACC, the police, etc. We cannot have a president appointing all these people in these big institutions. These are subject to manipulation by the person in power. We've seen this since 1964. So what we need to be talking about, per se, is how can we strengthen these institutions so that they hold even a president accountable while in office? Can the ACC in its form today investigate the president? It's a big no, because the president appoints the head of the ACC. So if we can turn around these institutions, we're going to see politicians start respecting and appreciating the true separation of powers. So as you guys think of running this great country with amazing people, please put this in mind. We cannot rely on the goodwill of an individual to be president. No, people are weak by nature, and they will exploit any loopholes in the constitution, in the political landscape. They're going to exploit all those things. We cannot be living in hope in a country well endowed with resources. Tulesanga minerals mukyalo mumyesu tulera mukwipa abantu besu. How can a Zambian be an illegal miner in their own country? Why can't we have a government that looks at these people that discovered the gold and said, look, we are going to work with you. We're going to create a proper structure for you guys. We will lend you money because we know the gold will produce millions of dollars. We will lend you the money to put up a company, to put up a processing plant. But KBF, if we can go and borrow $6 billion to Kulama toilets, can't we borrow $6 billion and buy Akama mines or buy machinery for our small-scale miners?
Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother from Indianapolis. Thank you. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Anonymous.
Ambassador Mwamba. You are second last caller.
Evening, Mr. President.
Yeah, quickly make your contributions.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, I just want to add on.
Yes.
Maybe just an advice to Mr. President. President our aspire to become as a Republican president. Can you please all move out? Mukaye ikomenanga niku Zimbabwe nga niku Ethiopia mukasabi president because that no one from the ruling party bakwata idea who the next president is. Kunakuinenga mwapishanya kunukisa chitafia announce to say this is the president. Antunga mulimu mu Zambia mukonfront yo amatia gasi yo. You are leaking information that we don't want. Thank you so much, Ambassador.
Thank you very much. My dear brother, good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Call me AI.
AI, make your contribution, AI.
Thank you, Mr. President Fube. I'm very happy the way you have spoken. You are a fearless man. And I know, being a criminal lawyer, you know what we are going through as a country. What the things I want to ask you two questions. Also blame you in a way. Like my brother from Kashowe said, so it is you who is supposed to clean up this mess, sir. Number two, I want to comment on the current machine that we use for registering voters. That machine, Honorable Fube, has got some weaknesses. I say so because that machine is mobile. You can take it anywhere and register the voters. So I wanted to find out from you, as we go towards these elections, what systems are you going to put in place that when the system, these guys start registering voters, the machine does not find itself in foreign countries? Because I think the reason they are pushing for biometric is for the fact that people can vote remotely from somewhere. So what are you doing? What are the things that you are putting into systems? Lastly, I wanted to ask you to comment on the threats from this so-called Chabinga when he was threatening LAS, Law Association of Zambia, that they can also come up with their own laws. What is your comment on those two issues, sir?
Thank you very much. But President, the calls are so many. Unfortunately, you have commitments and I have commitments and I have to allow you to. Generally, you have a feel of Zambians. I think the sense of desperations and the hope in the opposition. I think you can just generally answer all of you. You may not go one by one, but you can just generally answer to this. And then you provide your closing remarks for us, Mr. President. Let me just put you through to do that. Thank you.
Well, Ambassador, I'll pick some of the important questions. Others were like comments, but I would like to thank all the callers that have called in.
Mr. President, you can remove your headset.
In fact,
you can just remove your headset and just speak.
I want to thank all the callers that have called in, and especially those from the diaspora. Let me begin by a general comment. In leadership, one of the first things that one has to do is to take stock of what has gone on and why those things that have gone on have happened. I want to assure the listeners, the viewers who are watching through various platforms, Facebook and other channels and other platforms, that speaking for myself, I want to promise here that we intend to reconcile this country in a genuine manner. We intend to reconcile this country because we have seen this country being divided on tribal lines, and indeed this country being divided on political lines. And we must ensure that everything we try to do must bring the...
Continue to speak, Mr. President. I see your camera is off, but your audio is very clear. Continue. Honorable KBF, continue to speak. I saw your camera was off.
On Hakainde Hichilema. He lied that he was going to reconcile this country. That we have to correct. I want to assure, and particularly I want to mention, I want to assure our people from the southern province, be you Tongas, be you Ilas, or whatever tribe you come from in the southern province, you have nothing to be afraid of. We are not the kind of leaders that are going to be taking revenge on tribal lines. We don't do such things. That's not leadership. That assurance, you can quote me. Speaking for myself, I want to put it on record. Some of us have been raised. And as Christians, we know what it is to forgive. I think most of you know that before the 2021 elections, I had differences with my late brother, President Edgar Chagwa the late. I was expelled from the PF. And this is on some of these fronts that Kabungu and other people have been playing on to say that you helped bring Hakainde Hichilema into power. Yes, I did. I'm guilty as charged. But this is what men do. When you make a mistake, you don't run away. You stick in and go and correct the mistake. I am here to correct the mistake of putting Hakainde Hichilema into power. That is a mistake I am willing to correct, and we shall do it together. This has nothing to do with the tribe that Hakainde comes from. Nobody hates Hakainde Hichilema. He shouldn't be lying to the Zambians that he is hated because of his tribe. Hakainde Hichilema is disliked and by some people hated because of what he's doing to the country and what he's doing to some of our people. So, I want to say to my colleague from Manchester, my other colleague Chanda from Indianapolis, indeed my sister from New Jersey, and all the other people in the diaspora, you've got nothing to worry about. We shall correct this, and we shall correct it in unity. For those of you that are suggesting that we're going to hiding as leaders to choose a leader, we are not cowards. We shall not do that. We shall choose a leader from here, and we shall announce the leader immediately to the country. Because that's what leaders do. Twala butuka banan. Tula ya ku Ethiopia, tula ya ku South Africa, tula ya ku mukuchitenshi. Leadership, it does not take into account fear. Because the moment one bokum for mwenso, you're not a leader. You're a coward. So for us, we shall stay here. And I'm putting that on record. Some of us are prepared to stay here until we correct what is going on. I have heard most of you come here as Mr. AI, Miss Anonymous, Mr. Anonymous. All of you are scared of these cyber laws. I'll repeat, these laws will be repealed immediately we take power. In a democratic country, one of the first things we must ensure is that citizens are free to speak. Citizens are free to criticize the government. Citizens are free to criticize those that are in power, ministers, including the president. You can't hide under a law such as cyber law to stop citizens from talking. That's not being a democrat. That's being a dictator. And Hakainde Hichilema is trying to make himself into a small god. We will not allow him. 3 or 4 of you have said, I'm a lawyer, I allowed wrong things to happen. Let's not forget our history. I don't want to go too much into our history, but we all know where we're coming from. Certain things happened under the PF that people didn't like. Yes, you can blame me that I helped Hakainde Hichilema, but also look at it from my perspective. I was expelled from the PF. I didn't expel myself, I was expelled. Those facts are there for you to go and read. But we have reconciled. At least I reconciled with ECL as leader of PF then. And we know that we are going to put our forces together. There has been a suggestion here that I move into PF and go and help PF. Let's not go and join what's happening in PF. What has happened in PF is there's confusion which has been inflicted on the PF by the UPND government. And I know for a fact that they are using Chabinga as a stooge, they are using Chabinga as a front. They will not allow PF to be on the ballot. Mungu mfuikishe, please. So, what we must do is fight with what we have. Ichibemba chitila. Umukalamba tabamulange chintelerwe. Nalabwe keshapo. Umukalamba tabamulange chintelerwe. Ichibemba chimochine chitila. Akana kansoka takalala munshila. For some of you who may be looking for an easier Bemba saying or ipinda, tutila ukusuishe lungu kwendamo. I have enough experience with Hakainde Hichilema. I know him. When he speaks of Mingalato, I know his limitations and I know how to stop Hakainde Hichilema. So let's stop him together. That's my prayer. Let us stop him together. All the fears that you as Zambians across the globe have expressed are summed up in one word: courage. Let's have courage to fight and courage to ensure that the next government we form is a government of national unity that's going to ensure that we as Zambians move together. The only problem is legally, muno mu Zambia, we don't have a law that allows an alliance to be on the ballot. So we have to choose a party that is going to represent the views of all the opposition that are going to be together, whether it's 80%, 90% of the opposition. But those opposition members that are going to bring toxicity into an alliance such as Tonse, I am sorry to disappoint you, we shall not allow them in. Because Echo Tulelu Ishapano is maximum unity. We don't want confusion. We want to work as a team. The egos that were seen in other alliances, the differences seen in other alliances, we don't want. We don't have the time to waste on personality clashes, differences. No, the Zambians don't need that. And some of us are not interested in such things. We are interested in an alliance that's going to work for the Zambian people. So my assurance is that we're going to work as a united force together.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I will invite you. Mr. President, I will invite you to. Mr. President, I will invite you to. I would invite you to make your closing remarks. You have an urgent matter, also have an urgent matter. But I would like to thank all the callers, and the phones is still buzzing. I apologize we didn't take other calls, but we have tried as much as possible to accord the president the opportunity to have a feel of what the country and the globe is talking about Zambia. And I think about the hope in the opposition, you had that opportunity. In a minute, Mr. President, just make your closing remarks.
My fellow Zambians, my assurance to you is that we are going to remain united, at least as Tonse, and we shall move together to ensure that we liberate this country come next year. I want to thank Ambassador Mwamba for what he's doing and all the energy and effort, time that he's putting into what he's doing. and all your sentiments are encouragement to us. Mafuta twala suva. We are encouraged, and we are going to use this as the next fuel to make sure that we get rid of the UPND government. That is my assurance. May God bless you wherever you're watching us from, and may God bless this, our republic, Zambia. I thank you.
Thank you. That was wonderful performance and views from the Zambia Must Prosper president. And he spoke of unity in Tonse and unity in the opposition at large. We are on a quest to bring our national leaders to you, that you make your own assessment. We started with Honorable Binwa Mpundu. We brought Honorable Harry Kalaba. We brought Honorable Dr. Fred Membe and Dr. Cosmas Musumali. Yesterday we had our dear brother, Honorable Sakwiba Scotta State Council. And today, your screens were graced by Zambia Must Prosper President and Tonse Alliance Senior Member, Honorable Kelvin Fube Bwalya, KBF, and he has given you insights. And to all the callers and all of us that came to this program, I'm grateful. Tomorrow we have Honorable Given Lubinda. Tune in, come and hear his view. Our quest is that there is alternative leadership to President Hakainde Hichilema. He's not the Alpha, he's not the Omega. He's not the only one available. There is leadership, and most of it has congregated in the opposition. So keep on giving you an array. And in your own time, call these leaders. Urge them on the agency to be united. God bless you. We'll see you tomorrow, and God bless our country. And thank you, Honorable KBF, for the time you gave us, and thank you for the opportunity.